What if 2 spices could fix your cold feet and leg cramps in 7 days? That's what I thought this was about. Then I saw what happens to blood pressure, inflammation, and joint pain. Both are in your kitchen now, cayenne and cloves. Healers across India, Indonesia, and the Middle East combined them for cold limbs and heavy legs. Here's what makes me angry. Research confirmed both mechanisms. Nobody connected the dots. Even worse, most people who try cayenne use the wrong dose and quit before it works. I'm walking you through 12 benefits plus how to make it. 4 are for your legs. The other 8? This title didn't warn you about those. Comment if your legs bother you. Hit like so you never miss it. Here's number 1. Number 1. Your leg vessels open wider. Heavy legs by evening, calves that feel tight and full by the time you sit down. Your legs are the farthest point from your heart. Gravity fights every drop of blood your body pushes down to your toes and pulls back up to your heart. Think of your circulatory system like a building's plumbing. The water pressure is strongest near the pump. The apartments on the top floor get the weakest flow. Your legs are the top floor. After 50, vessel walls stiffen and produce less nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps them flexible. The passages narrow year after year. Over 12 million Americans have peripheral artery disease right now. Up to half don't know it. Traditional Indian healers gave cayenne to patients with cold hands and feet and sluggish blood flow. They called it the fire remedy. Capsaicin activates TRPV1 receptors inside your blood vessels. When those receptors fire, the cells lining your vessels release nitric oxide. Nitric oxide tells the muscle around your vessels to relax. The vessels widen physically. A study in cell metabolism confirmed it. One compound from a kitchen spice, doing what blood flow medications do, through a completely different pathway. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne in warm water, first thing in the morning. That's your legs getting more blood. But what's happening to your calves at 3 a.m. matters even more. Number 2, leg cramps and restless legs ease. Do your calves seize up in the middle of the night? Legs that won't stop moving when you're trying to sleep. Cramps happen when oxygen delivery drops below what your muscle tissue needs. Your muscles contract but can't fully relax because they're running on empty. Restless legs follow a related pattern. Your nervous system senses the poor flow and creates the urge to move, forcing blood through by making you shift your legs. Middle Eastern healers ground warming spices together and brewed them into teas for people who couldn't sleep because of leg pain. They noticed the combination worked better than either spice on its own. That observation now has a biochemical explanation. Capsaicin widens the vessels. Eugenol from cloves reduces the inflammation, narrowing them from the inside. More blood reaches your calf muscles. More oxygen means muscles that contract and relax properly. Cramps are worst at night because your heart rate drops during sleep and blood pressure falls. This combination keeps vessels open wider even when your heart is pumping at its slowest. If you've been taking magnesium for cramps and it's not fully working, this is likely why. Magnesium relaxes the muscle, but if oxygen can't arrive because the vessels are too narrow, magnesium alone can't solve it. Cramps start easing, and the coldness in your feet, that tells a deeper story. Number 3, cold feet start warming. Do your feet feel like ice blocks in bed? Always reaching for socks, even in summer. Cold feet aren't about room temperature. They're about blood delivery. When your vessels can't push enough warm, oxygen-rich blood to your feet, the warmth cools off before it reaches your toes. Your feet are the last stop on the longest supply route in your body. Thermal imaging studies show that after people take capsaicin, the skin temperature in their hands and feet rises measurably. That warmth you feel 20 minutes after drinking isn't the spice burning you from the inside. Your vessels physically opened wider. Warm blood is reaching tissue that's been starved. Eugenol compounds this by reducing the vessel wall inflammation that restricts flow in the first place. Think of capsaicin as opening the faucet. Eugenol clears the buildup inside the pipe, so more water gets through. 3 crushed cloves with the cayenne, steeped 5 minutes in warm water. Your toes are warming up. Now what about the numbness and tingling? Most people blame that on aging. It is often fixable. Number 4. Tingling and numbness in your legs settle. Pins and needles in your feet. Numbness that comes and goes. That strange feeling like your leg fell asleep even when it didn't. Those are signs of peripheral neuropathy. Your nerves need oxygen the same way your muscles do. The longest nerves in your body run from your lower spine to your toes. They're the most vulnerable to oxygen deprivation because they're at the very end of the supply chain. When circulation drops, these nerves lose function gradually, over months and years. Capsaicin works directly on peripheral nerves through TRPV1 receptors. The 8% capsaicin patch is FDA approved for nerve pain after shingles. Oral capsaicin works through a less concentrated but body-wide version of the same pathway. When nerves get more oxygen from improved blood flow, they work better. The tingling settles, the numbness fades. This doesn't replace medical evaluation. If you have diabetes-related numbness, see your doctor. But for the everyday tingling and numbness that builds up after 50, better circulation goes after the root cause. Nerves waking up. Now here's where this video goes somewhere the title didn't promise. Number 5. Your blood pressure starts dropping. Here's what most people don't realize. The vessel opening effect happening in your legs isn't limited to your legs. It's happening everywhere at once. When capsaicin triggers nitric oxide release, it happens in vessels throughout your entire body. Your coronary arteries widen. The arteries feeding your kidneys widen. The vessels feeding your brain widen. Your whole vascular system is responding. That's the turn in this video most people didn't expect. A large review of clinical trials found that people who regularly consume capsaicin see real drops in blood pressure. Not theory. Measured results in clinical settings. Eugenol inhibits NF-κB, the inflammatory switch that stiffens your arteries and holds your blood pressure up. Together, they address blood pressure from 2 sides: vessel relaxation and vessel wall repair. If you take blood pressure medication, this doesn't replace it, but it works alongside the same targets through a pathway your prescription doesn't cover. These medications do important work. This drink addresses the system they're managing through a different door. Blood pressure is already responding. What you need to understand next is the hidden fire behind all of it. Number 6, chronic inflammation starts dropping. That low-grade ache that never goes away. Fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Stiffness that takes an hour to walk off every morning. Think of inflammation like a slow water leak behind a wall. You can't see it, but every day it's rotting the structure. Here's what most people never connect. Your doctor may prescribe separate drugs for blood pressure, cholesterol, and joint pain. 3 copays. 3 sets of side effects, but the leak behind the wall is the same. Chronic inflammation is the common root under all 3. Eugenol inhibits COX-2, the same enzyme ibuprofen targets. It also shuts down NF-κB, the master switch that controls your body's inflammatory signals. A study in the Journal of Pharmacy and Pharmacology confirmed clove extract modulated inflammatory cytokine production in immune cells, and it worked whether the inflammation was already present or hadn't started yet. Add raw honey to the drink, and it independently lowers C-reactive protein, the inflammation marker your doctor actually tests. One drink working alongside the same system your 3 prescriptions are managing. through a pathway none of them cover. The leak is slowing down. And while that's happening, your immune system is quietly getting smarter. Number 7, your immune system strengthens. Catching every cold? Taking longer to bounce back than you used to? Every infection drains your energy. Every round of antibiotics disrupts your gut bacteria, which weakens immunity further. The cycle never breaks. The Quran names honey directly. Surah An-Nahl, 1669. There comes forth from their bellies a drink of varying colors, wherein is healing for men. Proverbs says it, eat honey, for it is good. 2 scriptures, 1 conclusion. They recorded what they observed over generations. Eugenol disrupts the outer structures of viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Studies show it inhibits herpes simplex, influenza strains, and candida fungal infections. Raw honey adds 3 more weapons. It generates hydrogen peroxide on contact, its low moisture starves bacteria, and a protein called B-defensin. 1 breaks down what's left. Together, they provide broad-spectrum defense without the gut disruption that follows repeated antibiotic use. Daily immune defense that leaves your gut bacteria intact. The pathogens don't survive. Your defenses are sharpening. But here's something I didn't expect. What this does to your digestion explains symptoms you've been blaming on age. Number 8, your digestion starts working again. Bloated after every meal, sluggish an hour after eating. Think of digestion like an assembly line. When the workers slow down, everything backs up. Food sits too long. Harmful bacteria feed on it. Gas builds. Most people grab antacids, but antacids suppress the stomach acid you need to run the line. Temporary relief, longer-term problem. Capsaicin speeds up your stomach and boosts digestive enzyme production. Your stomach empties faster. Food moves through more efficiently instead of sitting and fermenting. Eugenol boosts digestive enzyme activity, helping break down protein and starch. Better breakdown in the stomach means better absorption in the small intestine. You get more nutrition from the same meals you're already eating. If you're already taking black seed oil for gut health, this combination compounds it. Different mechanisms, same goal. Digestion is restarting. Now pay attention because this next one protects an organ most people forget about until it's too late. Number 9, your liver gets daily backup. When was the last time you thought about your liver? Every pill in your medicine cabinet passes through it. Statins, NSAIDs, acetaminophen, metformin. These medications do important work, but your liver pays a cost for processing them day after day, year after year. Over 30% of people worldwide have fatty liver disease. Most never know because the liver has no pain receptors. It fails quietly. By the time blood work catches elevated enzymes, the damage has been accumulating for years. Studies show eugenol reduces ALT and AST, the 2 liver damage markers your doctor checks on blood work. It calms the inflammation that leads to scarring. Capsaicin activates the NRF2 pathway. That's your liver's own detox switch. Animal and cell research shows it helps your liver protect itself from the inside. That's daily backup your liver never asked for. What happens next slows the one process that's aging every cell in your body. Number 10, free radical damage slows down. Aging faster than you should? More tired, more stiff, more foggy than 5 years ago? Free radicals damage your cells, your DNA, and your proteins every second. After 50, your natural antioxidant defenses decline. The damage speeds up while repair slows down. That widening gap is what aging feels like from the inside. Thinning skin, slower healing, age spots, wrinkles that deepen faster than they should. Cloves rank among the highest antioxidant foods ever tested. In laboratory testing, eugenol stopped oxidative damage significantly more effectively than vitamin E. That's a substantial edge. Capsaicin adds its own contribution. Animal and cell research shows it activates the NRF2 pathway, your body's master antioxidant defense switch. When NRF2 activates, your cells produce more of their own protective enzymes. Every morning dose is concentrated cell protection at the time of day oxidative stress peaks. Every cell in your body just got a shield, and this next one caught me off guard. A kitchen spice showing up in bone research. Number 11, your bones get unexpected support. Nobody expects this from a kitchen spice, but the numbers don't lie. Cloves are one of the richest dietary sources of manganese on Earth. 1 teaspoon delivers over 50% of your daily recommended intake. Manganese is the mineral your body uses to build new bone tissue, produce collagen, and maintain density. Without enough of it, bones thin and fracture, risk climbs year after year. 43 million older Americans have low bone mass right now. Most find out when something breaks. A hip fracture after 60 changes everything. Mobility, independence, the life you built. An animal study found clove extract improved osteoporosis markers and increased both bone density and strength. Eugenol also reduces the inflammation that accelerates bone breakdown with age. 5 crushed cloves in a morning drink. More manganese than most bone supplements. And it costs almost nothing. Bones building quietly in the background. Now this last one. This is the benefit people feel first and remember most. Number 12. Joint pain starts easing. Knees aching downstairs. Hands stiff every morning. Hips that remind you they exist every time you stand. Over 53 million Americans have diagnosed arthritis. Most manage it with ibuprofen or acetaminophen for years. Ibuprofen damages the gut lining and raises cardiovascular risk. Acetaminophen stresses the liver we just talked about. You're putting out one fire by starting 2 others. Neither drug fixes why your joints hurt. They mute the alarm while damage continues. Ayurvedic texts describe clove and honey paste applied to inflamed joints. They prescribed it orally for traveling pain between joints, what we now call inflammatory arthritis. Eugenol inhibits COX-2 through the same pathway as ibuprofen without destroying your stomach. Capsaicin adds body-wide vasodilation that delivers more blood, oxygen, and repair nutrients to joint tissue. Over 7 days, the combined anti-inflammatory load drops. Less morning stiffness, less pain on stairs, better range of motion. If you combine this with turmeric or black seed oil, the effects multiply because each works through a different mechanism. They stack without competing. Imagine waking up, walking downstairs, reaching for a jar, no pill needed for the everyday aches. That's what this drink works toward. That's the morning you've been waiting for. How to make the drink. Get this wrong and you'll either quit from the burn or miss the benefit. 1 cup of warm water, not boiling. Warm enough to dissolve powder, but cool enough to drink. Boiling water degrades some of the active compounds in cloves. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder. That's your starting dose. It will feel strong on an empty stomach. That's normal. Your body builds tolerance in 3 to 4 days. By week's end, increase to 1/2 teaspoon if your stomach handles it. Add 3 whole cloves, freshly crushed with a knife, or ground fresh at home. Both work. Stale pre-ground powder from a jar has lost most of its eugenol through oxidation. Fresh whole cloves crushed or ground the same day give you the full dose. Optional, 1 teaspoon of raw honey to cut the heat. Raw only. Pasteurized honey's active enzymes are destroyed by heat processing. Squeeze in 1/2 a lemon for absorption and vitamin C. Steep 5 minutes. Drink warm, empty stomach, morning, full 7 days. Day 1 is a flush. Day 7 is a foundation, Blood thinners like warfarin? Talk to your doctor first. Both capsaicin and eugenol interact with anticoagulants. Blood pressure medication? Monitor closely. Never use cayenne essential oil internally. Stick to food-grade powder. Pregnant and breastfeeding women should avoid therapeutic doses. This content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your health routine. From your cramping calves to your cold feet to the joint stiffness that greets you every morning. 2 kitchen spices when after leg circulation, systemic inflammation, and oxidative damage in 7 days. When cayenne opens the vessels and cloves clean the walls, the blood flow your legs have been starving for reaches every organ that needs it. But while this drink targets your vascular system, there's one oil that works from the inside out, balancing your immune function, cholesterol, and blood sugar through a completely different mechanism that amplifies everything you just learned. Click here to discover the 10 biggest black seed oil benefits you've been missing for years and exactly how to use it right.